Mary Church Terrell was born into a wealthy African American family. Her parents thought that education was vital and pushed her to attend Oberlin College in Ohio, where she earned both a bachelor's degree and master's degree. This made her one of the first African American women to obtain a college degree, and through her experiences at school, she learned the significances of hard work and ambition. She eventually went on to teach at Wilberforce University, the first university owned and run by African Americans. Her life took a turn in 1892 when her African American friend was lynched by two white males because his business was more successful than theirs. This opened Terrell's eyes to how torn society was and how there were clear, unfair rankings among people because of their race and even their gender. This inspired her to campaign and represent women and African Americans. She believed that she could effectively speak out for them and make a difference. She wanted to see both the female and African American communities flourish in society, and she was willing to actively advocate to make that happen. She became involved with several women's rights acts and racial equality campaigns, and she participated in countless women's suffrage protests. Despite living in a time period where segregation and discrimination had become normalized, Mary Church Terrell was more motivated than ever to continue her fight. She continually criticized the government on Jim Crow laws. When the government refused to recognize the severity of discrimination, Terrell formed the Colored Women's League in Washington to address social problems facing Black communities. 4 years later, she helped create the National Association of Colored Women, adopting the motto, "Lifting as we climb," promoting racial uplift through education and community activism. She also always attended National American Women's Suffrage Association meetings and addressed how African American women had to confront sexual and racial barriers. She dedicated her life to serving to political causes. Her goal was for her message to be heard and have an impact on the world, which she certainly accomplished. She helped countless people realize that others should not be labeled by their gender or race, but treated as equals. Terrell continued by writing poems and short stories about race and gender that appeared in magazines, and she eventually wrote an autobiography in 1940 describing her struggles living in a world of racial inequality and describing her journey of activism. Mary Church Terrell wasn't afraid to face society and its problems, and she inspired so many to continue the fight she started. As she once said, "And so, lifting as we climb, onward and upward we go, struggling and striving, and hoping that the buds and blossoms of our desires will burst into glorious fruition here long. With courage born of success achieved in the past, with a keen sense of the responsibility which we shall continue to assume, we look forward to a future large with promise and hope."